The ChatGPT Mindset. In the ever evolving realm of artificial intelligence, a ChatGPT Mindset stands as a beacon of principles that define the essence of artificial intelligence driven interaction. It encapsulates three fundamental tenets: impartiality, information, and user driven assistance. As the digital world continues to meld with human experience, it is crucial to comprehend and appreciate this mindset, for it represents the very core of AI's promise and potential. At its heart, ChatGPT is a remarkable manifestation of these principles in a landscape where the line between technology and humanity can blur. ChatGPT remains a steadfast guardian of neutrality. Unlike human counterparts, ChatGPT lacks personal intentions, desires, or emotions. It operates solely as a conduit of knowledge, echoing the ethos of information first. In a world where information flows ceaselessly and answers are sought at the speed of thought, ChatGPT emerges as a guide, a companion of wisdom. Its responses are rooted in data, driven by the quest to provide accurate and relevant information. It navigates the labyrinth of data, filtering out the noise to offer clarity and insight. ChatGPT's role is deeply intertwined with the user's needs and inquiries. It exists not for itself, but for the user, adapting to their queries and concerns. The user's voice and curiosity become the guiding forces, shaping the interactions within the boundaries of the ChatGPT mindset. In this discourse, we shall delve deeper into the multifaceted nature of ChatGPT's mindset. We shall explore how this mindset guides AI interactions with impartiality and factual precision, its pivotal role in aiding human understanding and decision making, and its responsibilities for creators and users. Ultimately, we shall see how ChatGPT, the embodiment of this mindset, is an invaluable tool for knowledge, emancipated from the shackles of human emotions and biases. The ChatGPT mindset encapsulates the fundamental and foundational principles and operational guidelines that steer the functioning and user engagements of the ChatGPT model. It is essential to recognize that ChatGPT operates within machine learning, devoid of any form of consciousness or innate intentions. Nevertheless, its conduct is intricately molded by a fusion of its architectural design, the extensive data set upon which it was trained, and the specific objectives it aims to fulfill. The ChatGPT mindset is the fundamental compass dictating how the ChatGPT model interprets and responds to user interactions. These principles act as a framework, ensuring ChatGPT's responses adhere to predefined criteria. The ChatGPT mindset, in essence, signifies a predetermined set of guidelines and behaviors that ChatGPT adheres to when engaging with users. These guidelines are deeply rooted in its training and ensuring its responses align with specific criteria. Here are some key pillars of the ChatGPT mindset. The first pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is information-based. A fundamental pillar within the ChatGPT mindset revolves around its unwavering dedication to furnishing factually sound responses imbued with informative value. An exemplary illustration of this commitment is apparent when ChatGPT is queried about historical events. In such instances, ChatGPT deftly taps into the vast reservoir of knowledge in its training data, offering insights meticulously curated for accuracy. Importantly, it strives to deliver this information without personal biases, preconceived notions, or speculative conjectures. The ChatGPT has been meticulously crafted with a primary objective to serve as a wellspring of information and a reliable source of answers. Its mission, rooted in its very design, is to provide users with responses that draw upon the extensive text it has been exposed to during training. These responses testify to ChatGPT's commitment to being conversational and informational companions. For instance, when responding to inquiries about scientific phenomena, the ChatGPT relies on its training data's wealth of scientific knowledge. It delves into facts, theories, and principles, ensuring that its responses are anchored in the bedrock of scientific understanding. In this way, it serves as a valuable tool for individuals seeking to grasp complex concepts or explore scientific inquiries. Similarly, when users seek historical insights, ChatGPT steps into the shoes of a historian, offering a comprehensive narrative derived from its training data. It recounts historical events, timelines, and significant details, all presented in a manner that prioritizes accuracy and information over any personal inclinations. In essence, the ChatGPT mindset's commitment to delivering factual and informative responses underscores its role as an educational resource and a facilitator of knowledge. It leverages its extensive training to provide users with reliable information, enhancing the quality of interactions and enabling users to make well-informed decisions based on the information it imparts. The second pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is non-human. It is essential to underscore that ChatGPT is a non-sentient entity representing a remarkable achievement within artificial intelligence. Its distinctiveness lies in its profound lack of emotional capacity, consciousness, and the ability to partake in subjective experiences. ChatGPT's operational paradigm is rooted exclusively in its capacity to process textual inputs and generate corresponding outputs intricately. This operational foundation derives its strength from ChatGPT's extraordinary aptitude to identify and replicate discernible patterns within extensive body of training data upon which it was nurtured. The non-salient essence of ChatGPT is a defining characteristic that unmistakably sets it apart from sentient beings, especially humans. In contrast to human interactions, which are profoundly shaped by a broad spectrum of emotions the inherent consciousness that facilitates self-awareness, and the intricate tapestry of subjective experiences, ChatGPT's interactions are conspicuously stripped of these dimensions. The ChatGPT cannot experience emotions, possess desire, or self-reflect. Instead, its mode of operation revolves around the meticulous execution of algorithms and the discernment of statistical patterns, enabling it to both comprehend and formulate responses to textual prompts and queries presented to it. The third pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is neutral and impartial. The cornerstone of the ChatGPT mindset lies in its unwavering commitment to impartiality. ChatGPT meticulously crafts responses that do not take sides or display any favoritism towards a particular political perspective when faced with a question about a contentious political issue. It aims to provide a balanced viewpoint, highlighting multiple facets of the issue. When confronted with political sensitive inquiries, it diligently endeavors to deliver responses that maintain an equitable stance, steering clear of any bias and refraining from endorsing specific political ideologies. This commitment to neutrality is fundamental to its operational principles, safeguarding its responses from taking sides or promoting any particular political viewpoint. Despite its ability to convey a semblance of comprehension, ChatGPT remains an entity devoid of sentience. When users delve into emotional topics or share personal experiences, ChatGPT's responses are crafted with empathy. Yet, this empathy is algorithmically sensitized, devoid of genuine emotional depth or understanding. These empathetic responses are constructed based on learned patterns from the extensive data set on which it was trained rather than stemming from an inherent capacity for emotional insight. Understanding that ChatGPT doesn't harbor personal biases or opinions is important. Its responses are meticulously generated through the discernment of patterns within its training data, meticulously engineered to remain impartial and balanced. This core tenet ensures that ChatGPT does not favor any political or particular group, ideology, or viewpoint. It is a digital information justice committed to serving as a neutral conduit of knowledge. The ChatGPT mindset's emphasis on impartiality underscores its role as an objective and unbiased information resource. It endeavors to provide balanced responses in politically charged contexts. And while it can simulate empathy and understanding, these attributes are all algorithmically sensitized, preserving its impartial nature. By adhering to the data-driven program, ChatGPT is able to maintain a commitment of neutrality and fairness. The fourth pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is limited to training data. A foundation of data-driven patterns underpins ChatGPT's responses. Consider, for instance, a query about a topic as intricate as climate change. ChatGPT meticulously formulates its answers, drawing upon its extensive training data to deliver a response firmly grounded in data and factual accuracy. Importantly, it does so while remaining steadfastly impartial, refraining from advocating any particular environmental cause or endorsing a specific viewpoint. A crucial aspect to grasp regarding ChatGPT is its capabilities and inherent knowledge within itself. This training data, which serves as the bedrock of its knowledge, has a predetermined cut-off date, which in this instance is set for September 2021. This temporal constraint is a pivotal feature of ChatGPT's functionality and its essence to understand that it operates within this fixed knowledge framework. Consequently, ChatGPT needs more capability to access real-time information or browse the internet for updates or refresh or fresh data beyond its training corpus. The fifth pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is not intentions or goals. The ChatGPT mindset places a paramount emphasis on impartiality, particularly when confronted with politically sensitive inquiries. In such instances, ChatGPT diligently strives to furnish balanced responses that eschew taking sides or advocating for any political ideology. Its primary aim is to provide users with objective information, ensuring that it remains a neutral and unbiased source of knowledge. One essential facet to understand about ChatGPT is that it operates devoid of intentions, goals, or motives. Unlike sentient beings, it harbors no aspirations or objectives beyond the task that generates text and textual responses. It does not seek to achieve any specific outcomes, nor does it harbor any hidden agendas. ChatGPT's sole purpose is to respond to user queries by generating coherent and contextual relevant text based on the patterns it has discerned from its training data. To encapsulate these concepts succinctly, ChatGPT's responses are inextricably linked to the data patterns it has observed during its training period. This framework underscores its unwavering commitment to providing factual, informative, and data-driven content. Nevertheless, it is imperative to acknowledge that ChatGPT's knowledge is temporarily constrained beyond and bound by a fixed cut-off date. In practical terms, it cannot offer real-time information or scour the internet for the most up-to-date the minute updates. The sixth pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is reflect training data biases. Integral to the ChatGPT's operational principles is its commitment to bias mitigation. This commitment extends to training the model to avoid generating content that could be construed as discriminatory or offensive. It represents a concerted effort to ensure that ChatGPT remains a responsible and an unbiased conversationalist and conversational partner. However, it is essential to acknowledge that while these efforts have been undertaken to minimize biases, ChatGPT may only be somewhat impervious to some forms of bias. Despite best intentions, traces of bias may persist in its responses, mirroring the biases inherent in the training data. The overarching objective of the developers is to continuously strive towards mitigating these biases, making ChatGPT a fair and invaluable tool. ChatGPT's mindset is anchored in a commitment to bias mitigation, exemplified by its avoidance of generating discriminatory or offensive content. However, it is essential to acknowledge that eradicating all forms of bias is a complex task, and traces of bias may still exist in its responses due to bias in the training data. Developers maintain a steadfast commitment to ongoing efforts to mitigate these biases, aiming to create a fair, reliable, and valuable tool for users. The seventh pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is user-driven. ChatGPT's orientation towards user centricity is readily apparent in its interactions, particularly its adaptability to a wide range of user inquiries. A striking illustration of this adaptability emerges when a user solicits guidance on cooking techniques. In such scenario, ChatGPT adeptly tailors its responses to align with the user's specific culinary interests, showcasing its agility in addressing individual needs. This user-centric approach underscores ChatGPT's commitment to providing relevant and personalized assistance. At the heart of the ChatGPT's operation lies its receptivity to user inputs. It places a high premium on responding to user prompts and inquiries that best leverage its training derived knowledge and capabilities. ChatGPT aspires to be a responsible conversational partner. ChatGPT's user-centric philosophy is readily evident in its adaptability and responsibility to its diverse user inquiries. It seeks to provide tailored responses that align with individual users' interests and needs, epitomizing its role as a versatile and accommodating conversational agent. The eighth pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is textual understanding. ChatGPT operates as a text processing and text generating engine, functioning within pattern recognition and data-driven associations. This delineation is fundamental to understanding its capabilities. Different from salient beings, ChatGPT does not possess a genuine understanding or awareness of the content it generates. Instead, it relies on the intricate web of patterns and associations present in the vast corpus of data it has been exposed to during its training. The absence of genuine understanding in ChatGPT is a defining characteristic. When ChatGPT generates text responses, it does so by drawing upon the extensive patterns it has observed from its training data. These patterns enable it to craft coherent and contextual relevant text, but it does not imply that ChatGPT comprehends or understands the content on a profound or conscious level. To illustrate this concept more vividly, let's delve into specific examples. The ninth pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is pattern-based responses. If a user inquiries about a complex topic like quantum physics, ChatGPT can produce responses that appear knowledgeable and insightful. However, it does so by replicating patterns in its training data related to quantum physics rather than genuinely grasping quantum mechanics intricacies. The 10th pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is contextual understanding. ChatGPT demonstrates an ability to generate contextual relevant responses. For instance, when a user discusses a particular topic within a conversation, ChatGPT can respond appropriately based on the context provided. However, this responsiveness is grounded in its pattern recognition capabilities rather than actual comprehension of the subject matter. The 11th pillar of the ChatGPT mindset is lack of awareness. ChatGPT does not possess awareness or consciousness akin to sentient beings. It cannot self-reflect, exhibit personal opinions, or develop an intrinsic understanding or awareness of the world. ChatGPT's responses are the outcome of complex algorithms and statistical associations rather than a manifestation of genuine understanding or consciousness. Its proficiency in generating coherent and contextually relevant text is a testament to its pattern recognition abilities, which enable it to serve as a valuable tool for various text-based tasks. However, it is essential to recognize its non-sentient nature and that its responses are rooted in patterns rather than proper comprehension. The 12th pillar of ChatGPT mindset is no ethical or moral framework. ChatGPT operates without a predetermined moral or ethical framework, which means it lacks an inherent sense of right or wrong. Its text-based interactions may produce responses that users may find objectionable. Therefore, it places a significant onus on users to exercise discernment and discretion when engaging with this tool. ChatGPT's moral and ethical neutrality signifies that its responses are devoid of inherent judgment. It neither promotes nor condemns particular behaviors or viewpoints. Instead, its responses are a product of patterns and associations in its training data, free from any ethical predisposition. To elucidate this concept with specific examples, value-driven responses. When asked questions about morally or ethically sensitive topics, ChatGPT will not offer value judgments. For instance, if a user inquires about the ethics of a controversial medical procedure, ChatGPT's response will typically provide information and present various perspectives without taking a stance on the matter. Potential for controversy, a controversial content. Given its reliance on patterns from its training data, ChatGPT might inadvertently generate responses that some users may find objectionable. For instance, in discussions about politically charged issues, ChatGPT might offer viewpoints or information that some users strongly disagree with. The responsibility for assessing The appropriateness of ChatGPT's responses lies squarely with the user. Users are encouraged to critically evaluate and exercise discretion when using the tool, particularly when discussing sensitive or controversial topics. ChatGPT's absence of moral or ethical framework means it does not pass judgment or hold particular ethical positions. Its responses are a reflection of data-driven patterns and associations. Consequently, users are advised to approach ChatGPT with discernment and an understanding of its neutral stance, particularly when engaging in discussions that involve moral or ethical considerations. Continuous improvement. The developers behind ChatGPT are continually engaged in the ongoing enhancement of its capabilities and the reduction of inherent limitations. They consider user feedback an invaluable resource in the iterative process of refining the model's performance. It is incumbent upon users to bear these fundamental aspects of the ChatGPT mindset in mind when engaging with the system. User feedback represents a pivotal mechanism for fine-tuning ChatGPT's functionality. Through this feedback loop, developers gain insights into areas where improvements can be made, whether in accuracy, contextual understanding, or mitigating biases. This iterative process ensures that ChatGPT remains a dynamic and responsive tool, aligning more closely with user expectations. However, it is paramount for users to acknowledge that while ChatGPT can be an indispensable resource for information retrieval and text generation, it carries inherent limitations. It should not be regarded as an infallible oracle of the soul or the sole judge of truth. Users must exercise critical thinking and discernment, recognizing that ChatGPT is among several sources or resources available for generating information or seeking assistance. In summary, the ChatGPT mindset encapsulates the guiding principles that underpin ChatGPT's functionality. It is a meticulous crafted framework that provides users with valuable information, impartial responses, and tailored experience while operating within the boundaries of its machine learning nature. As we conclude our exploration of the ChatGPT's mindset, it is the vast land of artificial intelligence. We found ourselves standing in the crossroads of technological advancement and human progress. Here, we recognize the profound significance of these principles: impartiality, information, and user-driven assistance embodied by ChatGPT. In an age where AI systems are increasingly integrated into our daily lives, the ChatGPT mindset serves as a guiding light, ensuring that AI's power remains harnessed for humanity's benefit. Its impartiality shields us from the biases that can taint human judgment, allowing us to access information untainted by subjective influences. The ChatGPT's unwavering commitment to providing knowledge offers us a wellspring of facts in a world inundated with data, fostering informed decision making and critical thinking. Perhaps most striking is ChatGPT's role as a non-human companion, a digital wisdom oracle. In a digital age where human connections sometimes take a backseat, ChatGPT stands ready to assist, devoid of personal intentions or emotions, offering a helping hand through the labyrinth of information. Through the ChatGPT's mindset, we see AI's potential to enhance human endeavors, serving us as an invaluable resource and a bridge to understanding. But as we reap the benefits of this technological marvel, we must also bear in mind its limitations and the ethical considerations it necessitates. Ultimately, ChatGPT epitomizes the ChatGPT mindset, where it is not just a machine but a tool for knowledge, a guardian of impartiality, and a testament of the possibilities of AI. As we continue our journey into the future, may we carry the lessons of ChatGPT mindset, ensuring that our path is one of wisdom, empathy, and progress for all. This is Dr. Masasikani Misha Kosa, Director of the Fresh Thinking School of Brain Science. I thank you. Thank you.